What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Real Reds Talk, an authentic football fan channel made in Manchester. This is your Sunday night special news show. We are going to be discussing the Zirkzee green light on the deal, 90% done. Same story for Matthijs de Ligt, so close you can touch it. Ornstein, Leny Yoro bomb, Luke Shaw back in action. What's in store for his future? And some interactive poems towards the end. Get on that. We're going to do, I'm going to do some poems towards the end, and the lads are going to try and guess.
Aaron's going to be suing you for copyright, mate.
Yeah, absolutely. But fuck it, is what it is. I am well and truly stealing his idea. But I suppose, what did they say? The best form of imitation is flattery. Is that what they say?
I think that's the phrase. I don't think it's quite that way, but I get what you mean.
Well, how would you phrase it then if it's not that way?
It's not because you're saying flattery is imitate. So I get what you mean. Let me Google it. I'm gonna Google the phrase.
I think he's basically I'm sure it doesn't sound strange to me. Like it sounds like I've heard it before. Like
the best form of flattery.
And it makes sense.
Imitation.
Imitation. Yeah.
Or
Here
just
we go. I've got it.
Claim it.
Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery that mediocrity can pay to greatness. There you go.
Yeah, that's just a longer way of what I said, but it certainly sounds better. So, yeah, if that's what it is, then Aaron will absolutely take that. And we're going to do that towards the end, so make sure you stick around for that. We're going to kick things off with Zirkzee, lads. According to Fabrizio Romano, who's a pretty good journalist, don't know if you've heard of him before, Joshua Zirkzee is one step away from becoming a new Manchester United player. It's expected to happen in the next days because United have an agreement in place with Joshua Zirkzee. And according to Ben Jacobs as well, Zirkzee's understood to already have spoken to Erik ten Hag and even Ruud van Nistelrooy, who's becoming a part of the coaching staff tomorrow. It's also said that agent commissions in the range of 10 million euros have been agreed, which was a stumbling block in AC Milan's interest of the player. Civir, are we excited to see the dynamic of Zirkzee with the likes of Rashford and Garnacho, given how our wingers are?
Absolutely. He's a completely different player from them, at least from what I've seen on YouTube. I've never watched him play for Bologna. So
yeah.
But I mean, based on his qualities and what we've seen, and I've seen a few videos like analyzing what he does and all that, I think it's a much needed inclusion in that front three, because we've talked about this many times of how we've got a lot of direct players and we don't have that many sort of dynamic sort of players that have the qualities that he does.
Mm-hmm.
So I think if anything, I think it adds, it makes for good balance between, and the front three. And I know he's been brought in as a striker, but I would like to see him play with Højlund and see how that works out. Like if there's a way that can happen at some point, maybe we're down a goal and we need another goal. I'd like to see how both of them would work. I think it'd be a good partnership. But yeah, excited. That's one transfer I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah, obviously, Sam, the comparison that a lot of people have been making is Firmino when he's played with the likes of Salah and Sadio Mane, but you have others like Benzema, Muller, Kane drops deep and links with the players. These type of guys who just make other players around them better. So that can only be beneficial, right?
Yeah, he's like Chivy said, and what we've all wanted is if we're going to bring in a striker, we need something different from Højlund, because Højlund doesn't mesh well with the direct wingers that we have. I think when you saw Ahmad come in, you saw a lot better from Højlund, like the link-up play and the way they're able to play. And then obviously sometimes it's not possible to do that. So say you've got Garnacho on the right and then Rashford on the left. Højlund's finds himself the odd man out, but if you bring in someone like Zirkzee who likes to link play, likes to drop deep, get the wingers involved, you've then got a whole different dynamic for that defense to worry about. So you could switch that up on the fly, and then obviously, like as the game's getting on, like Chivy said, say you're a goal down, you need to switch things up. You can bring him on, throw him on, and you can change the game. So I think, really, really good signing in terms of price, really, really good signing in terms of like different type of profile striker, and really, really good signing in terms of age, because he's 24, really good like age profile. He's ready to hit. He's done a full season at Bologna. What was his goal record at Bologna? Do we know?
It's similar to Rasmus, to be honest. So he's not, but it's one of those where he's not an out-and-out goal scorer. He's more of a creator. That's what I'm looking forward to. But obviously, he's been about as well. He's been at Anderlecht. He's been at Bayern Munich. He's been at Parma. He's been at Bologna. So he's done the due diligence in terms of loan moves.
That's the whole entire thing. I don't want the entire thing. Gee. Oh, fuck it. I can't really find it. But
it's similar to Rasmus.
Yeah, he's a decent striker. So I'm excited to see it. Like all these people going, oh, he's not good enough. It's not good enough. It's like, this is where we're at financially, and this is where we're at in terms of we need to build a base of this team to get it functioning. We cannot go out and just sign Gyökeres for 100 million or João Neves. Do you know what I mean? It's just that isn't the time for those players yet. Once we've built this base, which is what we seem to be doing, then we can start building. And about 2-3 years, okay, you've got a base of players. They're playing well. They understand each other. You need to start sprinkling in that bit of magic and those bit of stars and stuff. So we just need to be patient, man. And for so long, people are like, we need football people. We need football people. This is what happens when you have football people. Shrewd signings. They're moving quickly. They're getting deals done, and it's being completed. We're not dragging it out for months on end, which I like. I enjoy it.
I think
what's most sorry, Nick, for cutting you off.
No.
I think what excites me, and I'm sure quite a few other people, is the qualities that he brings. So it's not necessarily like the name or the goals, but the qualities that he brings and how that's going to. Because we kind of saw people have said that they remind him of Martial, and Martial had this thing with Bruno where both of them used to
Rashford as well.
Really well. Yeah. Rashford had, so I think it would be that sort of thing where you have a player with those kind of qualities that likes to play, likes the ball to feet, likes to give and go, connect other people. That's kind of what I'm looking for, because when you have direct wingers, sort of like Garnacho, which is good because you need that as well, where Garnacho looks to be a man and then just take the shot. Anthony, same thing. Rashford, the same thing. Højlund, to a certain extent, the same thing. He's not. But when you have people that like to play around, like I love those qualities, and I think that's kind of like what would be a really good addition to what we have already.
Gives us a different option against the low block as well, doesn't it? When you struggle to break down a team, you can start to drag defenders out of their position, which is what City did notoriously when they played Sterling or Foden there or whatever. You can just drag opposition players about, overload certain areas, and then kind of break that block. So I think tactically he's going to be used really well as well. And I think the fact that he's already spoken to Ruud van Nistelrooy is very interesting, because them two, and in terms of like profile of strikers, I don't think they could be more polar opposite if you tried. Do you know what I mean? Like Ruud van Nistelrooy is arguably the most selfish striker you've ever met in your life, and
Ruud did not leave the 6-yard box. Like the Ruud would just stay in that box. He's not doing any running. He's not doing any link-up play. He's staying there, and you give him the ball. That's what's happening.
Yeah. I think he would have probably struggled in this United team in a minute with the wingers we've currently got. But
he'd be killing Rashford, wouldn't he? He'd be murdering Rashford.
Yeah. Wasn't it him who someone described him as being born in an offside position?
Being born in an offside position.
Yeah, somebody just. I think it was Wenger. Who said that. It was either Nistelrooy or Inzaghi, one of the two.
Yeah.
They're pretty much the same player, really.
Do you know you play Sunday League and you always got them goal-hanging strikers? He's definitely one of them. All he gives a shit about is goals. If he didn't get a goal, he'd flip his lid, even if it was 6-0. Just a pure out-and-out striker, but obviously a top one as well. I suppose the fact that not just the type of player he is, Chivy, but the fact he's great for Rasmus in terms of competition and depth, because last season we had quite literally no other option, no one else to bring on, and also competition breeds success, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And it should be some kind of healthy competition. It's not like they're bringing him in to like uproot Højlund, but it means that Højlund can be comfortable at that number one spot. And I think it should be up to grabs, to be honest. I think it should be up for grabs. Whoever plays better should, they should earn the position. But at the same time, also, I think it was Sam who said it in the chat. Someone mentioned it. It should be sort of, you play one and then you bring the other one to bring something different to the attack and that kind of stuff. So, but to be selfish, it gives us more options on the bench as well, because then we know that we have two strikers. We have someone else who can come on, and it's not just on Rasmus the whole time. And it's just a great addition to have.
With Zirkzee coming in, Sam, is that enough attacking options for you?
You'd obviously like a little bit more, wouldn't you? I just looked up. He did 34 games, 11 goals, 5 assists. So, yeah, But similar to Rasmus Højlund. Yeah, you'd love like another couple, wouldn't you? You'd love 4 strikers, but I think maybe Ethan Wheatley's probably going to get the 3rd spot there because he did play a few minutes towards the end of last season, so maybe he's the 3rd option. I'm not aware of any strikers besides Ethan Wheatley that we've got that might be ready in the academy. He seems to be the next off the lot. So yeah, that's it. I think we've got a lot of wingers, but obviously that depends on who we sell. Obviously, we're going to touch on Sancho and Greenwood later. If you sell them, if Balistri goes out the door, then maybe you're a little short in that area. Maybe you do need another right-hand forward or something like that. So I think, yeah, that might be an option later on, but I don't think it's a priority right now. I think the priorities were striker, defensive midfielder, and centre back. They were the priorities. After that, if you could sell well, then you start to sort of fill those other gaps. But at the minute, I think those are the priority.
Well, let's talk about the centre back then, because De Ligt has also given the green light to United. He wants to come. Personal terms, not an issue at all. Just need to agree a fee with Bayern Munich now. How does Lissandro and De Ligt sound together, Civir?
I don't know.
No, not fill you with confidence.
It's not like it doesn't fill me with confidence. I said this to Sam. I think the last time we spoke about it. I just don't know. I don't know De Ligt. I know the Ajax De Ligt, but I don't know the Juventus De Ligt. I probably saw him a few times at Bayern Munich. I really don't know. I'm hoping that they've done their due diligence in targeting, in selecting him as a target. I'm hoping that we kind of get the Ajax thing, because if both of them kind of come from that Ajax mold, then I'm hoping that there's some kind of chemistry there. Because obviously, Cassandra played there. I don't know if he met De Ligt when he was there.
He joined when De Ligt left.
Exactly. So, but it's a similar sort of thing that they can both tap into. Similar sort of background. So I'm hoping that works. Stylistically, probably does, because Lissandro is more the calculated type. He's more the, we all have this idea of him as being the butcher, but he's a very intelligent player. Like, people for some reason, overlook that. And I think he can go next to, stylistically, I think they blend. But I'm just hoping at this point, because I don't really know the guy that much. And yeah, let's just hope it works. I really don't have any insight into this guy. So I don't know. It's just a bit worrying that everything's all Dutch.
Yes.
Nick, what happened?
It's gone dark.
I have no idea why my camera is this dark. Apologies. Yeah, I literally no idea why it's gone this dark. I will try and work on that. Let me just up the brightness a little bit. There we go. It's a little bit better, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't know. Just very, very bizarre. Yeah. Sorry, that's threw me a little bit. That. Sam, talk to me about De Ligt. Sorry, Civir, if there was any points that I didn't pick up on there. But do injuries concern you, Sam? With Matthijs de Ligt, because that's one of the red flags in it with him, I suppose.
I think he's been blown a little bit out of proportion. I looked at his record. Last year, obviously, he had quite a big injury. It took him out for a while. But the year before, he played, like 38 games. So,
yeah,
seems to be fine the season before. On an average, he completes, 90% of his games. So, I think maybe because of the last season recency bias, it's probably been blown a little bit out of proportion. But it's always a worry, isn't it? Because we saw with Sandro, before he came to United, he didn't really have an injury record. And then at United, he seems to have quite a few injuries. So is that the medical staff at United? Is that the training? I don't know. There could be a number of options. So you're hoping that it's just like it was an injury and he's got over it. So, yeah, it's not a worry for me. But if you start seeing niggles early on and he starts being out for a lot of games, similar to Varane, then you're going to start panicking at you and be like, oh, for fuck's sake, we've got another one here. Fantastic talent, but just can't stay fit enough to form a partnership with Lissandro. Because when we saw Varane and Lissandro together, they were pretty much one of the best centre-back partnerships in the league. They were phenomenally good, but just weren't together enough. So, yeah, I hope he's over it, and I hope it's not a big deal. And I think a lot of people are losing their minds about it. And I think a lot of people like to poke holes in United transfers when it isn't a big star. I think they like to find fault with it. So with Zirkzee, he's like, who even is he? How many goals has he scored? It's just like... Yes, the strikers are important for goals, but sometimes it's more than that. It's about how the team functions and how that. And it's, De Ligt is injured. It's like, well, he had a big injury last year, but the year before he played pretty much every game. And then this year he's kind of not been playing because of injury for a lot of time. He's just been replaced by Eric Dyer, and that was another stick they used to beat him with. So, Dyer's replaced him. It's like, yeah, but Thomas Tuchel made that decision. Like, it's not on De Ligt. Like, De Ligt didn't go, oh, he's shit now. It's just that he replaced him with Eric Dyer. So it's a thing that people like to beat it with, and I'm sure they'll do the same to whoever, like Ugarte. I'm sure they'll find something. It's like, oh, he can't even get in the PSG team, but there'll be something. There's always something in United transfers. So
why do you have to put that voice when you?
That's how they do it. Do you know what I see? Do you know what I see? The negativity online. That's the voice I have in my head. It's always like, I'm miserable in my life, and I want to be right about this. So I'm gonna poke holes in it, and then if it does go wrong, I could be like, "See, I told you." That's who they are.
Sounds like a certain.
Can I just add something on De Ligt there? Because when I said to you guys, I don't really know that much about him. I checked, and I saw 2 Bayern fan channels, and both of them weren't happy that he's leaving. So
there's a petition. There's a petition in there online.
Is there?
Stop him leaving. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
there's a Bayern. I can't remember the name. There's a fan channel. The guy is based in America, and he was like, "What the fuck? Like, you shouldn't be leaving." Blah blah blah. And then I watched another one. I think they're called Bayern View or something, just to check what the temperature was like. And also, they were saying the same thing as well. Like, they don't really want to see him. The only thing about the injury is that I think it's the same one, the one he had last year. I think it's the same. Like, I think it's a recurring injury, and I think it's a knee injury. So he had it and then went off, and then he had it again, and then. So that's the only bit that's a bit worrying, from what I understand the injury to be. But as far as his history, it's not too unusual, to be fair. So it's one of them ones. But we just have to wait and see.
I mean, that is quite literally the worst case scenario, isn't it? If you bring him in and he's injured, and then Lissandro gets injured again, you're like, that's your 2 starting centre backs, and you're fucking scrambling about playing Johnny Evans and Camboala again and stifling. That is honestly the worst case scenario. But with Matthijs de Ligt, I do think there is context to it. But I was listening to something on The Athletic, it was really, really good. They did like a deep dive on why it didn't work out with Juventus and why it didn't work out with Bayern Munich. And at Juventus, he was kind of thrown straight into it. There was a bit of a language barrier. Chiellini and Bonucci weren't really happy with him. So it was very unsettled there as well. They had Pirlo as the manager, they had Sarri, and they had Allegri, I think. So they was chopping and changing consistently. Then he went to Bayern Munich. They had multiple different coaches. Both you guys know the situation upstairs. He was changing a lot of people. So he's never really had that stability with different coaches coming in. So maybe United could offer that in terms of a coach in Erik ten Hag if he was to come. That's why I'm more open to the move. I was a bit negative about it at first, but I think it could turn out to be decent. For the price that's being quoted, 35-40 million, if he turns out to be the player we think he can and work under the previous coach that he's been with, it could turn out to be a really good deal, in my opinion.
Wow, 35 million. Is that what we're supposed to be?
He was taking a wage. He's taking a wage cut as well. Like, he's taking a wage cut, which is always a bonus. It's always nice to see.
He fucked up. Honestly, he should have just gone to Barcelona. Remember when he left Ajax?
Yeah.
Barcelona wanted to get him and De Jong, and De Jong was like, "Yeah, let's do it." And then even De Jong made a comment like he was confused when he instead went to Juventus. So
yeah. But you always see it as well with previous coaches. When they've worked with a player, sometimes they just shine better. They just, if it's certain systems, certain tactical setup, they just do. So, yeah, we'll see how that gets on. And just sticking with the centre-backs, Ornstein also mentioned that we're still trying to push for Leny Yoro, but apparently he still wants Real Madrid. Sam, why linger about if he's so keen on this other club? Why do you think they're still lingering about?
Because if Madrid don't come in, then what's he going to do? Stay at Lille?
Do you think that's a possibility? That could happen?
Because they need to sell him, don't they? They need to sell him, and they need to sell Jonathan David because he's in the last year of his deal, so he leaves for free next year, and Lille not going to want that because they're in financial constraints. They need to sell him, and 40 million, I think, is a fair price for this. That is a prodigious talent, and I think James and Matthjis said this is like one of those ones where he might not be in your plans, like he might not be on your radar, but if he becomes available, you have to put yourself in the hat for it, and you have to try.
Absolutely.
So all these people, like I've had it on our comments. They were like, "Why are we even bothering if Madrid for him?" It's just like, well, one, they've not made a bid, so it's not like it's a signed, sealed, delivered. Two, if Madrid are interested, let's just not bother then. Do you know what I mean? Like it's such a weird thing. If Madrid, that's like going, somebody else is interested in that car you want to buy, and you'd be like, I'm not going to buy it then. at least try, put a bid in, have a talk with him, speak with his agent, see how he feels, and just be like, look, we're willing to put this on the table. If you come to United, you'll probably start X amount of games. You go to Madrid, you might not. They may not come in for you. You might just be sat there like holding your tail then at that point. So like, what do you do? So yeah, let's chance it. Let's see if he doesn't come. He doesn't come. We can move on to another target. But I think it's mad to go, well, we shouldn't bother because Madrid are involved. Obviously, if Madrid make a bid, then it's a difficult position because if that's where he wants to go and they make a bid.
Doesn't it seem like he's the one pushing for the Madrid thing? Because every time maybe it's just the way the news is being reported, but it's always like his first choice is Madrid. But then I'm not hearing anything concrete about Madrid.
But James for the Matthjis said Madrid have done this to a couple of young players. They've gone, oh yeah, we're really interested, blah blah. But then they've got them to run the contract out so they can snap them up for free.
Yeah.
And obviously, Lille are not going to want that to happen. They want the money, so it's a bit of a like sort of Mexican standoff at this point. It's like, does he run his contract down so he can join Madrid for free? But then at that point, maybe Madrid don't want him. Maybe they found another superstar, and then what do you do? Maybe United have got somebody else, then they don't require you. You're sort of stuck at a loose end. So I think, why not make a bid? Like I'd say, chance it, see what happens.
No, he could end up at Newcastle.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's we could be here, be like, and then next thing you know, it's like Madrid didn't go in for him, we didn't go, and then all of a sudden, it's like Newcastle's paid like what 40 mil, and then giving it crazy wages. And
what I'm interested in is to see if we do sign him, are they just going to completely? If it does become an opportunity on the market, are they just going to completely back out the Branthwaite deal? If that happens, because I can't see him signing De Ligt, Yoro, and Branthwaite personally. I just can't see funds just not working.
He's probably an alternative, isn't he? He's probably like, if we can't go for Branthwaite, let's keep this on the burner. Let's see if we can get him. And if the Branthwaite deal just has no chance of happening, they still want 70 mil, then like, cool, pull that trigger and go and get him. Maybe that's where they're thinking.
Yeah,
I've given up on Branthwaite. I don't think we can afford him. To be fair, like the transfer fee, I don't think we can do it. At least this summer, if we're going to get a left back, because that's another position that needs to be addressed.
Yeah.
So if we're going to get a left back, I don't see us paying another 60 mil for him. So I've given up on that. No.
Well, you've just given a perfect segue with the left back, because I don't want to speak about Luke Shaw. Back in action last night, looked like he'd been available for ages, took like a duck to water, looked like the Luke Shaw that we'd seen for so many years. But for United, I was having a look at this before. So in the past 3 years, he's missed over 400 days with injury, which is 73 games in total, which is 2 seasons, pretty much. Does his future solely depend on his fitness next season? And if it's the same old next season, should he be gone? Or would you sell him this summer? Anyone?
I'd sell him now. I'd sell him now because I don't see how he gets fit. Like, I think we all agree. On his day, when he's fit, he's one of the best left backs in the league, if not one of the best in Europe. He's phenomenally good. He's ridiculous, and he's so important to Marcus Rashford on that left-hand side. That relationship they have brings out the best in him. But like you just said, he's missed 400 days. I think the season before last was the only season where he's completed more than 70% of his games. And then since that leg break, the horrific leg break, he's just not been available. He's missed so many games through injury, so many months and times through injury. And I like him a lot. I think he's a fantastic player, but it's just like, how long can we keep this going for where we're just waiting for him to be fit? Like, till he's like 34? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, how long are we going to wait at this point? And I think cash in on him, if we can get some money for him, great. And then we can go out and get a reliable left back, because we don't even know what's happening with Malacia, do we? Don't know where he's at. Don't know if he's fit. Don't know if he's going to be ready for the season. I saw he was alive the other day, so that's something. But don't know if he's going to be fit. We sold Alvaro Fernandez, so that was our other left back. Is Harry Amas ready? I don't know. Like, maybe not. But we're seriously short there. But we don't know. So I would sell him to fund getting in a left back, personally. But that's just my opinion.
No, I wouldn't sell him this season. I'll definitely keep him and lock him somewhere else, lock him away, and just keep him training and get him fit, and then just get another left back. Because what that does is, if we can at least get half a season from Luke Shaw, we have a left back and a centre back. left side of centre back as well. That because he can play both positions really well. When Sandro went out, came in, literally just fitting like a glove. So I wouldn't sell him just now. And I know his future lies. It's not United anymore. Like we can't keep going through this. But at the moment, I think the wisest thing for us to do is just keep him before we go. I mean, let's see what happens with the left back position. If we get one or two. But if we don't have any adequate cover, if we only go and get one left back, we can't sell him. We need to have him there. And if he's fit now, we just have to find a way just to manage him for at least one more season. And then next season, we can just let him go because, yeah.
You don't feel like there's enough room, does there, this window to buy like a decent left back?
I don't think so. I think we might just get one that might just be like a stopgap.
Yeah, like a regular.
Yeah, something like that. And then next season we can go for one properly. Maybe try and feed in Harry Amas. I don't know too much about. I don't think he's that ready. Harry Amas.
He's very young. He's very young, but he's highly touted. He's been around the first team training all last season. So Ten Hag thinks a lot of him, but whether he's actually ready for men's football, I don't know.
Very similar to Luke Shaw as well in terms of the way he plays. Very similar. So it could be a like for like swap in that sense. But you never want to rush a youth player, do you, in terms of his development? You want to do it steadily in that sense.
Yeah, I mean, unless he's like one of those ones that's like really talented, that you just can't keep him tied down. Yeah, you have to bring him out. Like what's his name, Kobe Mino. Like you couldn't keep him in the youth team for much longer. So we'll see how that goes. But no, I wouldn't sell Luke Shaw just yet. I'll keep him one more season.
Yeah, interesting. Right, I'm going to go to the comments before we get into the interactive stuff. My Damned United saying something is starting to smell good in that kitchen. All those new chefs behind the scenes are cooking something special for us. I certainly hope so. I'm in the mood for a 5-star meal. Jay McGogan saying, feel like a whole new menu is being put together. A lot of food references here. I'm not sure what's going on. Smith P.O. says, João Neves, Benfica, Dani Olmo, Xavi Simons. EPL title dream. So that's the players that he wants.
How much money do you think we have, Smith?
Yeah, João Neves, Olmo, and Simmons would probably cost over 200 million. I'm not even joking. Or at least close to that.
I love all those players, but it's not happening. Yeah. It's fucking not.
Whereas we're probably going to get De Ligt, Ugarte, and Zirkzee for 100. It's crazy, isn't it, when you think about it like that? Yeah. It's such a refreshing change from previous Glazer windows, right down to the lack of noise. So much more professional. Olmo rumoured to City. That would be interesting. 60 million euro release clause. I like Olmo. I think he's a top player.
That's one of the only teams. I think that's one of the only teams that he can actually fit in.
Yeah.
Man City. Yeah, because the way he is, he's kind of weird. It's like he's one of them false nine kind of players. He's not really a striker. He's not really a winger. He's not really a 10.
The half spaces, isn't it? He operates in the half space.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So he'd only function perfectly like in a Germany or like in or a team like City, but but that's one of the only teams where he'd really fit in.
I think that'd be a very good signing for them. Manlu Tata says Martinez is not, but Shaw is always criticised for injuries. The difference is with Martinez, he's been here 2 years. Shaw's been here 9 years, so there is a significant difference with that. We've had a lot more putting up with it in that sense.
Martinez was not injury prone before United. Like he played pretty much injury-free at Ajax and stuff. He never had. Whereas Shaw, since he came to United at 19, has just been consistently injured like throughout.
And a lot of Shaw's muscle injuries as well. Yeah, which is like I think with Lissandro, obviously he had Souček who fell on his knee.
Yeah, it was the impact injury.
So it's different. I think maybe he's aware of what you guys discussed regarding Madrid and making young players wait. Alex says Yoro would be awesome. Might need time to bed into the team, but brilliant prospect. I think you'd get that though. If you have De Ligt. Let's say you have De Ligt and Lissandro, and then you have Johnny Evans, Campoala, and Yoro. You've got plenty of rotation there for him to kind of develop properly. I think. So many comments. I'm just trying to get through. John saying we'll be looking at the Bournemouth left back. Yeah, Kirkes was one of them, but I think Bournemouth want 30 to 40 million. You can't. The budget won't stretch. I just don't think it'll stretch that much.
If they were saying 15, 20, then you could probably have a conversation. But when you're asking 30, 40 million.
Charlie Malm says sounds like we get 3 players for about 90 million. Amrabat, De Ligt, and Zirkzee. Amrabat completely forgotten about. Most of Shaw's injuries are linked to the double leg breaks he suffered early in his career.
Yeah.
I just to put it out there, I hope he can stay fit because I love him as a left back. I think he's one of the best in the league. But sometimes you see this for players that can never get up to full fitness and play a full season. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens with that. Now, should we do the interactive stuff? You lads were a fan of the poems when Aaron done them, so I'm going to try myself. I don't want to. I hope I can fill his boots. Let's just say that. So, are you ready for the first one?
Yeah. So this is players again. We're doing players.
Yes, correct. Okay. This is players. So for anyone in the chat,
it's like a quiz, isn't it? Though.
Yeah. So for anyone in the chat who hasn't seen it before, I'm just going to read out a poem, and you have to guess what player it is by what I've said. So we're going to start off.
You did it line by line, or are you going to do the whole poem?
Well, what do you guys want? You tell me. I'll do it
because Aaron did it he did a couple of lines.
He did it a certain way. So
no, I'm just saying. I'm just trying to understand the rules.
What do you want? What do you guys want?
No, if you've structured it as the whole poem, let's do the whole poem.
Okay, let's do that. You happy with that, Civir?
Yeah.
Okay. In the midfield, he commands with might, a Spanish star in blue and white. With passes sharp and vision precise, he's often praised for his calm advice. Who is this player?
Spanish, blue and white. Are we saying Sociedad? Are we doing Brighton in blue and white?
Oh, so
is it Clarence or
these are all Prem players?
Premier League players. Okay, so I'm saying it's Brighton then. I'm guessing Spanish midfielder for Brighton.
No. Current Prem players.
Yes, correct.
Current Prem players.
Here we go, Nicholas Shakespeare. Thanks, Matthjis. There's one compliment. I'll take that to the bank.
Say again. Sorry. Can you read
in the midfield, he commands with might, a Spanish star in blue and white. With passes sharp and vision precise, he's often praised for his calm advice.
I think I know who this is.
Okay.
You go.
Is it Rodri?
Yes, correct. It is Rodri.
Blue and white?
Yeah, City.
Yeah.
Playing blue and white.
I thought like stripes.
No, yeah. Very well done. Okay, you ready for the next one?
Yeah.
Go on.
In red he shines, a German flair. He crafts his game with utmost care. From Leverkusen, he once came. Now in the capital, he plays the game. Oh, got him thinking. One of the things I said in that should be a massive clue.
Yeah.
Massive clue.
It's hold on. Oh, what the fuck?
What are we saying in the chat? A few people doing very well in the chat.
Oh, fucking. What the fuck's he called? God. What's he called? He played for Chelsea, didn't he?
Come on.
Kai Havertz.
Kai Havertz.
About 2 second time between you there. Kai Havertz, correct. Well done to John, who got that in the chat as well. Next up, a young lion with a golden touch took the world by surprise. He's now worth so much. A German gem. His talent shows with every game. His price will grow. This is not a Premier League player.
Okay.
Musiala.
Yeah, correct. Straight away. Smash that.
Yeah. I think we said it at the same time. I literally said it like...
No, I said it before you, man.
It was he was a second before you, I think. I have to be honest with that. This one you'll like. From a lesser-known team he came. A big old tree, stiff as a crane. No quick feet, but a guarantee to work hard. He didn't shine much, but he helped the stars.
Vegas.
Yeah, Vega. Big Vega. Big stiff Vega. Mate, that's what we love to see.
You know what? Every time I watch him play for Netherlands, I'm so happy. He makes me happy, man.
Yeah,
I'm just like, I fucking love this guy. It's so good.
He's bringing back the vibes.
Yeah, vibes. Vegas vibes. Jesus. He'll cry if he scores a tap in. Love it.
Yeah.
Right, we've got number 5, and then we've got a deluxe one just to end the show with. Okay. So this is number 5. A wing, and one of my personal favourites. A winger, old school. Twice he's had the same boss. Underrated, I guess. He does love a cross. You shout his name with a husky roar. He won't play for his country, but he gives his all. Who is this player?
Play for his country.
Go again. Say it again.
A wing, I could do it in the voice as well, but you'll get it straight away, so I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
A winger, old school. Twice he's had the same boss. Underrated, I guess. He does love a cross. You shout his name with a husky roar. He won't play for his country, but he gives his all.
Does he play for Sean Dyche? Is it an Everton?
I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything.
A winger for Everton. Is it Dwight McNeil?
Yes, Dwight
God!
McNeil.
Oh.
That's the one.
God,
A winger old school. Twice he's had the same
husky,
boss.
husky
That's what
voice.
I'm
I
gonna
was
do.
like, husky voice. I was like,
Husky
Sean
raw.
Dyche.
Yeah, that's the one.
Sean Dyche.
Alex in the chat saying I miss Weggles. No, that's the
Weggles?
nickname he had. Weggles.
Wiggles.
Apparently. Never heard that nickname before. Right, last one, Deluxe. So this is a bit of an extended version, but we'll go with it, okay? Last one. In Italy's heart, a maestro born with elegance and skills well worn, and midfield genius, calm and wise, he orchestrates with piercing eyes. His passes glide like poetry in motion, dictating play with seamless devotion. With a beard that speaks of wisdom's age, he commands the field and sets the stage. From Milan's pride to Turin's grace, he's left his mark in every place. A World Cup hero, cool and still. Who is this legend with a master's will?
Andre
Pirlo.
Pirlo.
Yeah,
That was me.
There we go.
That was me.
Both of you's got that. Well done.
Well, I said it first.
No, I got
No,
it.
both
I
at
got
the same
first.
time. Same time. If you want to do an action record on VAR, go and do it.
Yeah, come on, come on.
On
Come
record
on,
for VAR. 1 second.
No, Nick, you're gonna have to drag it out for like 20 minutes for it to be real VAR.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, that's not realistic. Just like that, 5 minutes. Yeah, well, people can. A lot of people did really well there in the chat. So hopefully, Aaron, I don't know if you're watching this or if you're watching this later on. I did you justice, mate. So there's some poems for you on your Sunday night. Yeah, I think that's a good place to leave it, lads. What do you reckon?
Yeah.
Aaron has 24 hours to respond.
Yeah, there's subliminal poem dissing. You've never seen that shit before.
We need to do
like 8 Mile.
We need to get you in the after dark. We need to get poetry slam. You versus Aaron.
Yeah.
Slam each other.
Do you know what's the greatest poetry slam ever? And there's only one correct answer to this.
Go on.
No.
Do you know it? Have you seen 21 Jump Street, Jonah Hill?
Yes.
Oh my god, it's the best.
No,
Cynthia, she died for Cynthia. So fucking good. So fucking good. Anyway, yeah. I think we can leave it at that, lads. Thank you very much for tuning in. Everyone who's watching live, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you want more fun, poems like this, and do hit that subscribe button. Thank you to Chivy and Sam. I know it's, well, I don't know if it's, I'm sure it's been a busy weekend for you guys, so appreciate your time. And we will all see you in the next one. Make sure you check us out on socials, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, all that good stuff. And like I said, we'll see you early next week for some very interesting shows.
Peace out.
See you in a bit.